Good afternoon, everyone. This is my second video for day two of the 2012 Cheltenham Festival. You would have seen the link for day one. It's there now. If you haven't, then go and have a look. It went up last night. But for today, we're talking about day two, which kicks off with the National Hunt Chase over 4 miles. One of my favourite races of the meeting, actually. This one, I find it a good slog around. Usually get an exciting finish, and no, you can get some good horses for the future. I remember going back about 12 years ago. I think Hedge Hunter was in this once and fell when he was right in contention. Obviously, he went on to win Grand Nationals and stuff. So it's a race I like. And there is a horse I fancied here for a while. His name's T for Three, trained by I think it's Rebecca Curtis. Won really well at Chepstow last time out over an extended 3 miles, and the further he went, the better he seemed. Jumps really well, stays very well, and this has been his target for a long, long time. Also, you might have seen an article on this horse recently on the Morning Line on Channel 4. It was one of Sam Thomas's dark horses, and no, he's a really good horse. Currently 12 to 1, which I think is exceptional value, and I think this will run a really, really big race considering he's entered for nothing else. This is his target. He came unstuck in the Cheltenham on Boxing Day, but everything was against him then, and 3 miles around Kempton's far too short for him, I think. Alfie Spinner comes here in really good form for the Ian Williams yard, and I know he's been quite highly fancied. Jumps well, stays well, and there's another one around 12 to 1 who could run a very good race. The current favourite for this race is Harry the Viking for Paul Nicholls. He should stay, the breeding suggests that he should, and his form got a real big boost at the weekend. He touched off a couple of runs ago Ikarodu Road at Doncaster, and Ikarodu Road went on and won. I think it's called the Grimthorpe, beating Junior, who's entered for the Grand National on the weekend. So that form's had a real big boost. There's been a steady stream of money for him. He's currently around 7-8 to 1, and he's another that I think will fight out the finish. But my idea for the winner, I think I'm going to stick with T for Three. It's got everything in his favour and should run well. Next race is the Neptune Investment Hurdle. One problem with this one, again, is his horses who are entered in numerous races, but if he goes for this, or whatever race he goes for, I really, really like Boston Bob for Willie Mullins' yard. Done absolutely nothing wrong over hurdles so far, beaten everything that's put before him. And last week, Willie Mullins worked all of his festival hopes, including Hurricane Fly, and the one who he gave the biggest amount of praise for was Boston Bob, who we called a natural. He stays, not a problem, and looking on breeding and what he's done on the flat in the past, I think the better ground, the better horse he will be. I remember this one with Oscar's well last year at the festival. People thought he needed heavy ground, but he got the good ground, and he seemed to go even better on it, really. I think everything's in his favour for a good run, and he'll stay as well. The talking horse of the race is this Simonsig, trained by Nicky Henderson. Very backwards, I was read he was saying last year, very weak when trained by Ian Ferguson in Ireland. He's come over here and not put a foot wrong. And they've had the choice of a couple of races and they're going for this Neptune investment, which I think is a big sign. And I think he'll be bang there. If you're looking for a bit of each way bet in this, a horse called Batonier is in good form and has been targeted at this race. I remember reading an article, and you'll be able to look it up, I think, on if you just search for the horse on Google, at around November, saying this is his end of season target. And that means a lot, really. Some of these horses, Boston Bob, Simon Zig, they've got a couple of options and they pick this, but Batonier, this has been his target, and if he gets here in one piece, could run a big race. But my idea of a winner of that race is Boston Bob. I just think he's going to be have that little bit of a classy element for everyone there. The next race for me is the race of the festival. People talk about the Argyle, the Gold Cup, everything else that goes with it. I think this RSA Chase this year potentially is the pick of the lot. Grand Cru is the current favourite, around 7 to 4, and rightfully so. He's done nothing wrong. He's won the Feltham. He's beaten everyone that's been put in front of him. He gave Big Bucks a scare for about half a second last year, which is a job in itself. He's got course form over fences, and he looks a natural. And the fact that he's as short as 8 to 1 for the Gold Cup suggests, just how good this horse is. And 7 to 4, rightfully so. The second favourite in this race is 5 to 1, called Sir de Champ, who actually won the Martin Pipe Hurdle last year. I actually looked up this race on YouTube before, and I still can't believe this horse finished like he did all the way through. He never looked happy, never went a yard, but just completely stayed on up the hill. Fences seem to have been the making of him. The one worry I do have is I just don't think he's got that class element that Grand Cru has at the moment, but he's a very good horse in his own right. A horse I do really like, and also won at the festival last year, is First Lieutenant. Done everything asked of him over fences, stays all day, goes on the good ground. He's got the festival form, and I think this is the horse that will give Grand Cru the biggest scare out of everyone potentially. Another horse I absolutely adore, who's had a great season so far, is called Invictus for Alan King. Backed him on his debut at Hereford, went very good, and then won again next time out. I think it was at Plumpton. Was quite disappointing in third at Cheltenham on New Year's Day, but it turns out that he spread a plate very early in the race. So the fact is, he did well to get with it, as close as he did. But then last time out at Ascot, he was very, very smart, jumped really well, did everything you could ask for him that day, beating some really good types, the types of Bobsworth, etc., and stayed on all the way to the line. Okay, it's a bit different with the hill at Cheltenham, but I think he'll be right there as well, Invictus. One horse I'm going to give a negative to, and he'll probably leave me with egg on my face now. I saw Bobsworth is 3-1, and I can't be having 3-1 on Bobsworth and what he's done this year. He only beat Q Card at Newbury at the back end of last year because of a jockey error on Q Card, and he carried on staying on there. He then got soundly beaten on Boxing Day at Kempton, and then there's no reason why you should reverse the form with Invictus. So to be honest, I can't have Invictus at 7-1, Bobsworth at 3-1. I think purely it's the yard is the reason he's there. I will put that as a bit of a negative. He'll stay the trip, but his jumpings look dodgy at times, and defences at Cheltenham take some beating. So I wouldn't be advising people to take 3-1 on Bobsworth. If you're looking for my front three in this, I think Grand Cru, First Lieutenant, and Invictus will be right there at the end. The next race is the big race of day 2, which is the Queen Mother Champion Chase, and even money favourite is Size in Europe, and rightfully so. He's the reigning champion. He's won the Arkle the year before that. The going is fine for him. He destroyed everyone in the Tingle Creek. He battered Big Zeb last time. He's better on better ground. He's also been called a spring horse in the past. Even money is actually a bit of value, I think, to be honest with you. I think he's a very good horse, and I certainly would be deserting him. Finian's Rainbow's second favourite, but he's been beaten soundly on what he's done out of novice company so far. He goes well at the course. He came second to Captain Chris last year, but I just don't think he's got what it takes to beat Size in Europe. Neither has old Big Zeb either. He's a past champion. Okay, they said he wasn't wound up last time, but Big Zeb, it's weird. I don't know. People spoke to me recently about the reversal of form at Punchestown, but I just can't see last year compared to the Champion Chase. But he's a year older. I can't see him doing it. Also, I would put a word in for Corto Stone, who came second to Size in Europe in the Tingle Creek. He was ill last time. He did have the cough that was going in the Nichols Yard. That's why he stopped like a stone. There you go. And I think he'll be a lot better for this at the Queen Mother Champion Chase on this day. Also, if you want a bit of a big each way price, Govan 33-1. He's hit and miss, but on his day, he's got course form and he could go well. But my idea of a 1-2-3 in this is Size in Europe from Big Zeb and Corto Stone. Very quickly on the Coral Cup, because there's 1,000 horses who had multiple entries. Well, Get Me Out of Here he's got good course form and did well in the Betfair Hurdle last time, so he's got to have a great chance. Our Father at 10-1 has been a big money horse, so keep an eye out for that. But he's once again entered in 3 or 4 races, and Bourne showed at Ascot that he stays very well from a shrewd yard, and he'll get in off a decent weight now with that off towards the bottom. Third Intention won the National Spirit Hurdle at Fontwell, but I don't know what that form amounts to. But there's been some good runs in the past in the Coral Cup from horses coming from that race. But Carlito Brigante as well is a big price at 16. He stays well. He's got class, but a lot of weight. At the moment, I'd be looking at Bourne and Get Me Out of Here at the moment, though. Keep your money in your pocket because there's a long way to go. Fred Winter is always a big race. The problem here is Vendor has been backed into 3-1 for Alan King. Yeah, the money's down. It's unrelenting money for it, but I wasn't overly impressed with his jumping last time. And at 3-1 in a horse race which has always had over 20 horses in it, I'm not in his party to be backing him at 3-1. The horse I like here potentially is Firefighter at 20-1. Unlucky at Sandown last time. Very quirky, but he's got a very good weight to be racing off. Hinterland for Paul Nicholls has been a classy performer on his day, put in his place by Baby Mix, but I'm just not convinced he comes up the hill well enough. And a big shout as well for His Excellency 20-1. Another inconsistent horse, but Gordon Elliott, I know, absolutely adores this horse, so he should go very close. But if I'm having a bet at the moment, the big average price of this race has been 18-1. I'm looking at Firefighter. And finally, the Champion Bumper. Champagne Fever is the money horse at the moment. He's won at Fairy House. He's cost €200,000. Willie Mullins absolutely adores the horse. and this has been his plan all season. Royal Guardsman was from the winning connections last year and will go close, and the money horse has been Moscow Manon. But for me, it's about Champagne Fever. Day 3 soon.